di Bella Italia. Welcome here. We're in Misano for the 7th race weekend, and it is day 2, and the weather is terrible. Yesterday already we had some rain showers, at least before the qualifying. Now it is really rough out there. It's terrible weather, but nevertheless we are looking forward to this qualifying. Yesterday in the race we already saw a lot of action, and for some reason I get the feeling that today in the qualifying we're also going to see some slip and sliding. So let's see.
I think you've nailed that absolutely right, Verena. We are going to see some slipping and sliding. Here comes DTM qualifying, short, sharp, 20-minute session then in absolutely atrocious weather conditions. The Audi Sport Team Rosberg run, of course, the Rennie Rast car and the Jamie Green car. Arno Zenzen is the team chief. And you can hear him on the team radio there. There is the car of Paul di Resta. Second place in the Drivers' Championship on 176 points. But of course,
where we are. You want to hit another bit?
Paul di Resta taking a really good win in the race yesterday. Now, the free practice session that was held earlier today.
Will not make it early to the pit exit.
It was Rennie Rast that was quickest, and Paul di Resta was second fastest with Loic Duval third fastest. That's the free practice session from earlier on. Qualifying conditions, though, are absolutely awful. The rain is really falling, coming down heavier than ever. We had a Formula 3 race on just a few moments ago, literally just a few moments ago, and actually the start of the race was suspended, such was the intensity. The rain coming down and standing water. And those are the conditions that will face these drivers when the session gets underway in a couple of minutes' time.
Race director wants every driver to give feedback on the outlap if the conditions are okay to be driven or not. Did you copy that?
Copy.
So Philip Eng then, hearing that the race director is expecting feedback from each and every one of the drivers out there with regards to the track conditions. So free practice 3, here's confirmation of the result. Rennie Rast was the quickest then, and it was Paul di Resta who was second quickest. Then it was Loic Duval, Nico Muller, Alex Zanardi then. Great job from him. As you can see, the rest of the results from free practice 3. All the information, of course, at DTM.com. It is Misano free practice 3 results that we were looking at in graphics, and Nico Muller is certainly very keen to get out on track. So too is Loic Duval. They're the first cars lined up at the end of the pit lane, awaiting the light to go green in just under a minute's time. Bruno Spengler backstage, and there is his car. Car number 7 for Bruno Spengler then. These really, really wet conditions that are greeting the drivers for their qualifying. And Bruno Spengler driving the all-black BMW Bank M4 DTM, then former DTM champion, of course, Bruno Spengler on BMW's return to the DTM. And there is Alex Zanardi, who did a brilliant job, absolutely brilliant job in free practice.
As soon as I start the engine, they are on already.
Copy, so the mechanics did the job for you. Thanks a lot.
The 4-time Paralympic handbike gold medalist then. We could hear him on his team radio there, this specially adapted BMW for Alex Zanardi, and great to see him out on the track. There is the current DTM champion, Rennie Rast, who was, pretty good in free practice. What can he deliver in the qualifying session? So we are a minute away from the green light, and Loic Duval, as I mentioned, is one of the first to go. In fact, Nico Muller, I think it is, that's ahead of Loic Duval in terms of the queue down the pit lane for this 20-minute qualifying session. I think the rain is beginning to abate just a little bit now. And there, the number 23 Mercedes-Benz of Daniel Juncadella. Daniel Juncadella then, who... in that car, number 23, of course, when the DTM was last out at the Brands Hatch circuit, Daniel Juncadella sealed his DTM victory in race 1. Joel Eriksson was taking a very, very keen interest in the Formula 3 race, primarily because, of course, he used to be in Formula 3 and, of course, also checking out the weather conditions. So Rennie Rast makes his way out of the garage. And there you can see the Jamie Green car lined up behind the BMW, but we get the green light now and the session is on then. 20 minutes of qualifying to come from the DTM cars ahead of their race a little bit later this evening. In fact, at 10 p.m. local time, their race gets underway. So DTM is ready to go in terms of qualifying to set the grid for that race to come a little later this evening. Under the lights here as DTM goes night racing here at Misano. The first night race was held yesterday, and the second one coming up today. And glare from the water and everything else that's out there on the track is going to make conditions very difficult during this qualifying session, and we're not going to see representative times of what we know the DTM cars can deliver around this Misano circuit because the track conditions are utterly horrible. So already almost the first minute of qualifying is done and dusted as out comes the number 7 car of Bruno Spengler. Here comes Gary Paffett, the British star, who of course didn't bank any points from the race yesterday. We'll be hoping to make amends. We go on board with Timo Glock to give us some indication of what the visibility is like through the windscreen of the RMR BMW of Timo Glock. And a young race fan then. Of course the DTM cars are loud and proud. And there is Timo Glock then, weaving from side to side. A, to generate temperature. B, just to explore the absolute limits of grip. Gary Paffett in the Mercedes-Benz. And of course, all the drivers will be looking for is clear space out there on the track. Now, René Rast is, we're being told, is going to be coming back into the pit lane. We're on board with René Rast now, so the engineers were discussing something there. And we're expecting René Rast to come back into the pit lane. No sooner has he been out, so
All cars on track.
René running very wide there, as you can see, behind the BMW ahead. Visibility is really going to be difficult for these drivers during this qualifying session as the flame spits out the side of the René Rast car. There is Philip Eng, and there indeed is the current DTM champion René Rast then in car number 33. Non-finish in the race here in Misano yesterday. Well, he doesn't dive into the pit lane and continues on his way, does René Rast. So I think we could see a fairly muddled up grid when it comes to the race this evening following this qualifying session. On board with Pascal Wehrlein in his Mercedes-Benz then, as he's tiptoeing his way around this circuit. And there, Mike Rockefeller. And Rocky goes green in Sector 1, personal best. Well, it will be a personal best. It's the first showing, isn't it? Screaming past our commentary booth, as you can hear. DTM feel the roar. So Rocky better than anyone through Sector 2 in his number 99 Audi, engineered by the Phoenix team. It's difficult to ascertain whether it is still raining or whether the rain has abated now and it's just the water that's out there on the track that is being sprayed. It's certainly nothing like as intense as it was. And there is Mike Rockefeller rounding then the second from last turn. There is the pit in. Mike Rockefeller rounds this turn now. And this will be the time lap that he will be looking for as he crosses the timing line now. Don't read too much into this 1:52.748. This is the lap that will be of importance to Mike Rockefeller. He does give us a time with which to judge, and Philip Eng is currently fastest with a 1:51.107. Rast with a 1:51.271 is second fastest, and here is Nico Muller, who has done a personal best through Sector 1, is purple in Sector 2, which means better than anybody. So it's Eng, Rast, Ericsson, Duval, Green, Rockefeller. Those are the drivers that have given us times at the moment. 3 are in the 51s, 3 are in the 52s. Bruno Spengler is in the 53s, but here comes Nico Muller then to break the timing beam now, and Nico Muller delivers a 1:49.764 to go to the top of the chart, ahead of Timo Glock, who is second fastest with a 150.817. Luke Sauer then is looking good here. Luke Sauer, another one who had a disappointing time in Misano yesterday with a non-finish. And looking to put that right this race. And of course, the best way to do that is to secure himself a great grid position from very, very good qualifying. And Lucas Sauer crosses the timing line now and goes fastest with a 1:48.589. Loic Duval is also looking quick. He looked quick in the free practice session earlier. So what can Loic Duval deliver? It's Lucas Sauer, Nico Muller, Robin Freins, who was fantastic yesterday. And Robin Freins taking his first podium in the DTM yesterday. It was a P2 for Robin Freins. And he is currently third fastest. And the third of the three drivers that are in the 48s and 49s. Everyone else is in the 50s and 51s at the moment. So Loic Duval rounds the final turn and heads to break the timing beam. And for Loic Duval, he goes from P12 to P3. A big, big improvement, but P3 is now P4 because Nico Muller goes faster, so too does Philipp Eng. So Loic Duval is relegated to P5. But no one yet has troubled the Lucas Sauer time of 1:48.589. René Rast now second fastest, 1:49.698. Gary Paffett jumps from P14 to P2, but he's soon pushed back to P3 by Timo Glock, who goes faster still by 9/100ths. And now it's Nico Muller that has gone to the top with a 1:48.3. So taking almost 3/10 out of Luke Sauer's previous fastest time. This is Daniel Juncadella, personal best through Sector 2, but a better than anyone through Sector 1. So as Daniel Juncadella then has one more turn to do. He's through that and he heads towards the timing beam now. And Daniel Juncadella, it's P5. And this is the reason for that, running wide and across the rumble strips, which cost him valuable tenths. And therefore P5 for Daniel Juncadella. He will go again. Here comes Lucas Sauer, who was at the top of the chart. He is now relegated to P2 by Nico Muller. And Alex Zanardi then with a 1:53.656 in the number 12 guest car. Forza Alex. Here's Loic Duval. Again, better than anyone, Sector 1, PB in Sector 2, and it's enough to give him P2. So at the moment, we've got two Audis, P1 and P2. Then it is a Mercedes-Benz with Lucas Sauer. Then Mike Rockefeller, then René Rast. The best of the BMWs at the moment is Timo Glock with P6. We've got just under 12 minutes of this qualifying session remaining. Splinter Cam then gives us exactly what it's like out there on track, and it's not nice if truth be told. René Rast we're following at the moment, the LED indication confirming that he's P5 at the moment. And Loic Duval is currently P2, that 1:48.336. Now Edo Mortara gives us the first sub 1:48 time, a 1:47.954. 1:47.954 from Eduardo Mortara, but Loic Duval is looking very lively here. So too is Mike Rockefeller. And now Daniel Juncadella beats Edo Mortara, and he goes 3/10 quicker, the 1:45.6. 1:47.6, I should say. 1:47.650 from Daniel Juncadella. We're on board with Mike Rockefeller, who's going to cross the line ahead of Loic Duval. So interesting to see what Mike Rockefeller delivers here. He's got one more turn to do. He heads up towards that left-hander now, which will bring him on to the start-finish straight. We're looking to beat a 1:47.650. Here comes Mike Rockefeller, who last time around was P8, and he improves to P2. So it's Danny Juncadella, Mike Rockefeller, Edo Mortara, Lucas Sauer. Here comes Loic Duval. This could be a good time from Loic Duval, who was P7 and now finds himself P3. Timo Glock is on a hot one also. Here comes René Rast, and he goes from P10, improves 6 places to P4 now. So Juncker from Rocky, from Duval, then Rennie Rast. Here comes Timo Glock then. We said he was on a hot one for the BMW, the best of the BMWs, or was. So Marco Wittmann is the best of the BMWs now, but Timo Glock rounds the final turn and heads towards the start-finish line now. And Timo Glock goes from P11 to P1 with a 1:47.377. We said he was on a hot one. And this is Pascal Wehrlein. So with less than 10 minutes of this qualifying session remaining, here comes Pascal Wehrlein, former Formula One star, who is currently down there P17, but all of a sudden he becomes P8 with a 1:48.108. It's Glock, Juncker, Rockefeller and Duval, as you can see from the left-hand side of your screen. But now it's Lucas Auer who takes 6/100ths out of Timo Glock's time to go quickest with a 1:47.313. The track really is beginning to dial in now. And Lucas Auer has gone quickest, but Loic Duval is on a quick lap as well. Loic Duval is going to be one to watch. He's currently 5th fastest. But this is a hot lap from Loic Duval in the number 28 Audi. So Loic Duval then turns into the final turn. P5 for Loic Duval at the moment from his previous best, which is a 1:47.752. And Loic Duval now goes quickest with a 1:47.134. 1:47.134. Philip Eng goes from P12 to P9, but Loic Duval is fastest from Lucas Auer, Timo Glock, Daniel Juncker and Mike Rockefeller. Rennie Rast is in the pit lane. Marco Wittmann, PB through Sector 1. Edo Mortara, Sectors 1 and 2 PBs. Edo Mortara down to P7 now with 8 minutes remaining. Here comes Edo Mortara then. Took the podium out of the race yesterday, finishing P3, but of course contact with his Mercedes brand mate Gary Paffett really rather tarnished his podium. And he was the first to admit that. Gary Paffett indeed crosses the timing line, and the best Paffett can deliver is a P15 at the moment. Now Eduardo Mortara with a 1:46.547. He's taken a huge lump of time out of the previous best, which was Loic Duval. And now Marco Wittmann goes 3rd fastest, so it's a 1:46.547. which is 6/10ths quicker than Loic Duval. So Edo Mortara finding the track to his liking as we reach the final 7 minutes and change of the 7 minutes and 8 seconds of this qualifying session. This is Mike Rockefeller then. PBs, Sector 1, Sector 2, P8 for Mike Rockefeller currently. Is this going to be an improvement for the driver of the number 99 Audi? Well, it is, as Mike Rockefeller now goes to P2 with another 1:46. Only 2 drivers in the 46s, Mortara and Rocky. So 1:46.547, 1:46.864 for Mike Rockefeller. So Mortara, Rocky, Duval, and then it's Marco Wittmann, Lucas Auer and Timo Glock. Jamie Green there, getting out of the way of Timo Glock. So Mortara quickest. Minutes remaining. Augusto Farfus, P8, Gary Paffett, P9. We're on board with Rennie Rast. So on board now with Mike Rockefeller. So Edo Mortara, 1:46.547. Mike Rockefeller, a 1:46.864. And it's Nico Muller. So it's Mercedes, Audi, and the best of the BMWs is the 2-time DTM champion, Marco Wittmann, P5. This is Gary Paffett, who's done a PB through Sector 1. It's currently P9 for Gary Paffett, the British driver. And into the Mercedes-Benz garages. All eyes, of course, on the timing screens. As we're into the final 5 minutes. This is Philip Eng, who is currently 15th fastest. Philip Eng crosses the timing line, and it's not an improvement. And Gary Paffett with Timo Glock ahead of him, his middle sector. Well, Paffett has bailed out the lap, as you can see, slowed considerably. We'll light it up again now and go for another go. So past the pit in, and this is not the time from Gary Paffett. It'll be the next lap. So Gary goes for it now. Pascal Wehrlein crossing the timing line. Edo Mortara, well, Sector 2 was good. Sector 1 not quite so good. As he crosses the timing line with a 1:46.086 in the final 2 sectors. He brought it all together, didn't he? And he's gone 8 tenths quicker than this man, Mike Rockenfeller. But Rocky is responding, as you can see, with a PB through Sector 1 and a better than anyone in Sector 2. Well, those 2 sectors have been reversed by Loic Duval, as you can see from the colours on the blocks. There's a yellow flag in turns 4, 5 and 6. As Mike Rockenfeller crosses the timing line. The order now is Edo Mortara, Daniel Juncadella, then it's Mike Rockenfeller, Loic Duval, and Alex Zanardi. There crosses the line with a 1:50.207. Loic Duval now with a 1:45.983. And so quick was he across the line, he loses it going into turn number 1. But the job was done as he crossed the timing line. It's Loic Duval who is fastest at the moment with a 1:45.983. This is Augusto Farfus, PB, Sector 1, Sector 2. So it's Duval, Mortara, Juncadella, Rocky. So Augusto Farfus now heads towards the timing line. And he improves, but only 1 place. Paul di Resta, victor yesterday. And Paul di Resta, personal best in Sector 1. He's currently down there in P13. So Paul di Resta improves through Sector 1. We've only got 2 minutes remaining. Marco Wittmann crosses the line. Gary Lucasau up there. And this is Daniel Juncadella, who is 3rd fastest. Here comes Edo Mortara. This is not going to be an improvement. No, he stays at P2. Yellow flag in turns 4, 5 and 6 once again, which will compromise anyone that's heading towards that section now. This is Paul di Resta. It won't affect him as he bounces across the curbs. It's PBs, Sector 1 and Sector 2. It was P13 for Paul di Resta at the start of this particular hot lap from Paul di Resta, but he improves to go to P6 with a 1:46.926. Only one driver in the 45s, and that is Loic Duval. So getting some air under the front there for Paul di Resta. Took the win yesterday, runs out wide, and we're into the final minute of this qualifying session. Daniel Juncadella backing up, look, to try and cross the timing line and get one more lap in. This is Nico Müller. Nico Müller, who is currently 7th fastest. And Nico Müller crosses the timing line and improves 2 places to go to P5. Loic Duval, who is on another hot lap, has done a quicker than anyone in Sector 1. Gary Paffett crosses the timing line. It's P6 at the moment for Gary Paffett. He can do another lap because he crossed the timing line before the checkered flag came out. But Loic Duval is the one that we're looking at the bottom of the screen in terms of the graphics. This is Paul di Resta, PB through Sector 1. Sector 2 has not been quite so good for Paul di Resta, so and he is not going to cross the timing line to get another lap in. So P7 for Paul di Resta, unless this shows an improvement, and I don't think it will. Unless in this final sector he really has nailed everything together. Slides the car around turn number 16. And it was P7 for Paul di Resta, and it will remain a P7. The checkered flag, as you can see, is being shown on this quali session as cars bounce over the curves. Loic Duval, a 1:45.766. 1:45.766. So Loic Duval, Edo Mortara. And this was Daniel Juncadella. So the number 23 car of Daniel Juncadella connecting with the barriers. So Daniel Juncadella, who's P3 with a 1:46.496. This is Timo Glock. And Pascal Wehrlein with PBs in Sector 1 and Sector 2. There's some confusion here because the checkered flag has come out after the clock has counted down to 0. So there are drivers still on laps that will count, presumably. Wehrlein making some adjustments to the brake bias. Marco Wittmann there in the BMW. Loic Duval, what a star you are. 1:45.766, the only driver to finish in the 45s. Everyone else through to P10 in the 46s, then some 47s. So Loic Duval, a 1:45.766. So front row is going to be Loic Duval, Eduardo Mortara, then it's going to be Daniel Juncadella and Mike Rockefeller. Rennie Rast and Marco Wittmann. Now you may recall in the program yesterday I said whatever happens in race 1 doesn't give us a form guide for race number 2. Well, the weather has thrown a real curveball into it as well. So here comes Loic Duval into Parc Fermé. It is still raining, as you can see. There's Paul di Resta, of course, victorious in the race yesterday. It will be a 5th row start for Paul di Resta for this race to come. And Loic Duval then parks the car up in the Parc Fermé area alongside Edo Mortara and Daniel Juncadella. So the Audi splitting the 2 Mercedes-Benz cars, and over there to congratulate Loic Duval, who has done a very, very good job in qualifying, that's for sure. Congratulated by Edo Mortara and also by Daniel Juncadella. So in that Parc Fermé area. And as the nighttime provides a backdrop for us here, a confirmation of the qualifying for race 14. Loic Duval, 1:45.766 was fastest. Then it was Edo Mortara, Daniel Juncadella, Mike Rockefeller, Rennie Rast, Marco Wittmann, Nico Muller, Gary Paffett, Timo Glock, and Paul di Resta. Rounding out the top 10, then it will be Pascal Wehrlein, Joel Eriksson, Lucas Augusto Farfus, Robin Freins, Philip Eng, Jamie Green, Bruno Spengler, and Alex Zanardi, our guest driver. So there in graphics on screen then, confirmation of what happened, and there is Loic Duval. What a good job you have done, sir. So trying to listen in to Loic Duval. Edo Mortara and Daniel Juncadella. Lots of laughter down there. And photographed with Edo and Daniel Gadea, both of course Mercedes-Benz drivers. And here is Loic Duval, who has split them and put them behind, because it's P1 for Audi with Loic Duval, P2 for Edo Mortara with Mercedes, and P3 for Daniel Juncadella with Mercedes in terms of qualifying and setting the grid before the race to come. So Loic Duval splits the two Mercedes-Benz drivers in terms of the photograph, but he is number one, 1:45.766. Brilliant time from Loic Duval. Doing a great job in that qualifying session. And let's go down to the pit lane now as we look at Daniel Juncadella, because Verena is standing by for us.
Paul di Resta. Paul, qualifying was pretty tough. You're in P10, 2 places ahead of you is Gary, and obviously at this point with the championship, do you have an ace up your sleeve for the race?
Yeah, it's obviously mixed conditions again. It's a shame because we were quick in the dry, but for whatever reason I just couldn't switch the first set of tyres on, and we had to stop, push out with sink a bit, and just not enough laps to kind of do the lap needed. But listen, it's going to be a long day ahead. Very hard from where we are, but you need to keep fighting.
I'm sure you will. Thank you so much, Paul. Back to you.
Thanks very much, Verena. Yes, keep fighting. That's exactly what Paul has got to do. And here, the super slow-mo of Loic Duval, the fastest man in qualifying for Audi. Great job delivered by Loic Duval. And they're the 3 of them, the top 3 in quali. Loic Duval, Edo Mortara, and Daniel Juncadella. Well, are we going to get any more rain before the race? Only time will tell. Gary Paffett, another one disappointed with that qualifying, I'm sure. He's with Verena.
And now Gary Paffett is here. P8 for you. At least you're ahead of Paul di Resta at this point. I know that's really important. But, I mean, looking at the race now, you've got a bit of time to do something. What are you going to do? And I guess now it's all about strategy?
Yeah, I mean, we're with the car, there's nothing we can do. I mean, we're in Parc Fermé, so a bit of adjustment with the rear wing if we need to, and tyre pressures for the race. But we have to see what the weather does. It's very unpredictable at the moment. But for the qualifying, P8 isn't perfect, but in these conditions, it can be a lot worse. So P8 is still somewhere near the front, and we've got a good chance for the race. So not really happy, but not too disappointed. So
I'm sure you push really hard. Thank you so much, Gary. Best of luck for the race, and back to you.
Thanks very much. So mixed views from Gary Paffett then, as we see Lucas Auer walking up the pit lane, and there too is Pascal Wehrlein, the former Formula One star. Gary Paffett to the left-hand side of the picture there, just out of shot now. All the drivers going in to be weighed, of course, and here comes the grid for race number 14 of DTM for 2018. Loic Duval, pole position, alongside Eduardo Mortara is P2. Then we see Daniel Juncadella going from P3. Mike Rockefeller is P4. To the third row of the grid, where we find René Rast and Marco Wittmann. The BMW driver goes from P6. Then it's Nico Müller and Gary Paffett, as he says it could be a lot worse. 4th row start for Gary Paffett. He's going from P8. Behind him is Timo Glock and Paul di Resta, of course, his arch enemy in the Drivers' Championship, going from P10. Pascal Wehrlein and Joel Eriksson are on the 6th row of the grid, P11 and P12. Then it is Lucas Auer and Augusto Farfus, P13 and P14. To the 8th row of the grid, where we find Robin Freins and Philipp Eng. Robin Freins on the podium, of course, yesterday. Then it's Jamie Green and Bruno Spengler. And then, of course, our guest driver, delighted to have him on board in the BMW. Alex Zanardi goes from P19 on the grid for the race, under the lights here in Misano. So let's go down to Verena once again.
So that was a pretty mix-up qualifying. Let's see what the race brings, and let's see what the weather does. That's going to be very interesting, of course, as well. So you don't want to miss the night race here in Misano in just a bit. So here are the highlights of the qualifying. Stay tuned. See you in a bit.